section.
In last week's episode, we waxed out the mould in preparation for a good sprayed layer of gel coat, a tie layer, and then a layer of 450 gram double bias was then laminated in. It was then time to cut the foam to size and fit it in place, and then set up for a vacuum bag that infused the foam to the outer laminates. The foam was fed up, and then another layer of 450 gram double bias was cut and hand laminated onto the inside of the hull.
Around this way, you're going to sit it straight up.
Then the hull was removed from the mould.
Upside down.
Well, we don't wear skimpy bikinis. Hell, it frightens me when I take my shirt off. There's definitely no one pregnant here. This is motor sailing for old dudes. We do live on a boat, and we do cruise extensively along the Australian coast. Join us and visit some great destinations. Learn how to look after a boat and live off grid. It might even get you enthused to do the same thing. Hey, stay out there till you can't. Now it's time to cut and shut. I don't need a 3.3 metre dinghy, so a section is cut out of the finished hull to make it shorter. First cut is the deepest. With the hull now in two halves and 700 millimetres taken out of the middle, it's time to join the two halves back together again. The two halves are trimmed to fit together as close as possible. And then core mat that was laminated in is ground out to form a rebate.
Well, I said we'd be looking for 5 mil, and that's what's turned out to be about up here, right?
The two halves are then clamped together for gluing. Polyester bog is used to glue the two halves together. This is faired up, and then the rebates are laminated with glass. It's all taped up, and all we've got to do now is fair it. The hull is then rolled over, and wider pieces of e-glass are laminated on the inside of the hull. So what have we done here, Pete?
Well, this is the internal join of the cut and shut. So basically replacing the internal laminate beefed up a little bit with a 420 biax and 225 choppy as a bedding layer. So it's basically stronger than the original laminate, but
the next step is to bog and fair the repair. Once the hull is finished, it's time for the deck to receive the same treatment. It's dusty, itchy work. Are they set?
no, I'll just put some heat gun over it.
These are just little touches on the fusion tenders, a place up under the deck to store your oars. So this is all being moulded in at the moment. Just little touches that make the fusion tender a little bit nicer. Just a couple of eye bolts so that it comes up onto my duckboard pretty well. I don't want to change any systems that I've got on the dinghy now because it works really well, so I'm putting these pretty heavy eye bolts on there. Bit of a shame to put these lugs on the side of such a nice hull, but it's what I need for storing it on my duckboard. Before the deck is bonded to the hull, there has to be some rope handles installed and also my anchor box. There's also a bulkhead has to be laminated into the hull to provide us with a weather-tight locker. So the deck mould is virtually finished, and all we're doing is putting a bit of flow coat on the underside of it, seal it up a bit. The inside of the hull is now ready for a sprayed on layer of gel coat. Yep. And the same in my anchor box. The repaired areas are then masked up on both the hull and the deck parts. The last part of the shut involves spraying both the parts with gel coat. This is built up to a good thickness to allow it to be rubbed back and then polished. So what's going on, Pete?
Just finished the repair, knocked it back with 1200 grit, and now it's ready to buff and polish.
A strip of keel guard is glued down the centre line to protect the bottom. Beachmaster wheels are fitted to the transom. So this is the deck mould with the repair finished. No way known, you can see that's joined. Got handles in the front. Cleat up the bow and a hatch in the locker. So this deck is about ready to go onto the hull. Retractable rope handles are fitted to the rear of the dinghy as well. drill halfway and come up to the back, eh? Through. We'll do it when we turn it over. Yeah. Right? Deck tread is then cut to templates and fitted on the gunnels. Final job is to bond the hull and deck together.
It's a bit flash.
It is 3 metre model. And this is the 2.6. What we're trying to do is get both of the models finished and launched at the same time. So it's a bit of a push on to get that done. So that's the hull and deck bonded together. Tomorrow a bit of belting on there. Nearly a finished dinghy.
Yeah.
Fusion. We work on the curtain fenders, cutting out EVA foam and attaching it to the boat. And then have a crack at doing some upholstery. Come this way 2 feet. It's time to load the dinghy onto the back of the ute and take it down for the launching. But there's a few other jobs that I hadn't thought about. See you next week, dudes.